Hey, what's up, everybody? Mambo VP, wherever you're tuned in. Are we supposed to say Happy New Year still? I don't know. I'm not sure. You tell me. Yeah, so I believe you had a good day, good evening, wherever you're watching us from. Today, we want to talk about a very pertinent issue about mental health. Mental health is a big challenge here in the US because people come here and there's a lot of other baggage that they come with, because there is family back home who is depending on them. There is also family here. There is a lot of also work here is 24 hours economy. So there's a lot of things that we have to decipher today. And we have a professional who will be talking to us about mental health. And before we even go there, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And just consider subscribing and clicking that bell, as we'll be bringing you a lot of information from here in the US. And whoever wants to come to the US, this is the platform for you. Whoever is in the US, this is also a platform for you, because we talk about both stories. We are from Kenya. We talk about stories that relate for Kenyans who want to come to the US, and also Kenyans who already live here in the US. So make sure you subscribe and click that bell. Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How have you been?
I'm good.
Happy New Year.
Happy,
yeah,
it's still Happy New Year.
right.
Oh, awesome.
Until February 1st.
Until February. Wow, yes. Okay, tutazidi nayo, but I hope you're not having your Christmas tree in the house.
I still have it on. I still right over there. I still have my Christmas tree up. My friend is like, you need to put it down. I was like, okay, I will soon. Maybe this weekend.
Yeah, awesome. We are glad to have you in our show. We've
Yeah.
always been saying that we will have this platform,
Forever.
but it's taken forever. But this
Too
is that
long.
day.
Too long.
Yes. But karibu sana.
Yeah,
Let's
thank
have
you so much.
an introduction first of all, and then we can move on from there.
Right. So my name is Julz Muya, and I am a trauma recovery coach. And you can just say life coach. I've really coached on divorce, mental health. I've coached on many different subjects, but bottom line, all of it has to do with healing from trauma. And I am vice president of Resilient Souls. We started a nonprofit organization that is really dedicated to empowering and in taking survivors through their healing journey, especially people who have gone through you're talking about toxic or complex trauma. Talking about things like labor trafficking, sex trafficking, domestic violence, really the real stuff, the real trauma that people have gone through. This has been a passion of mine from a long time ago, ever since about 12 years ago, when I started taking early childhood education courses, and I realized the way we were raised, the things that we thought were normal were really not normal. That was
Yeah.
childhood trauma. So I became really passionate about just helping other people, just learn about what human development is, what is trauma, what is real, what is normal, and what is just not normal.
Yeah. I see. Here in the US, there's a lot of challenges when it comes to mental issue. And, coming from a Kenyan background where sometimes mental issue, maybe, I don't know if we took it that serious or it was not there, or I don't know. So it's either we never thought about it, but here it's loud and clean. And we're having a lot of people taking out their lives, even in Kenya, even in the rural area. So how have you been like trying to like educate people on this, and trying to make sure that people still keep their mental health in the right form?
Right. I mean, a lot of it, I think, is just, I used to do Monday Facebook lives or something like that. What I discovered is that then people will watch, they'll never comment, but they'll be faithfully watching. And then they'll be telling me, man, I didn't know this, I didn't know that, and for example, we just normalized abuse in school. I mean, if you think about how our teachers treated us, that verbal that verbal abuse, that corporal punishment, that you're being beaten at home, you're being beaten in school, you're being bullied. Things like moralization was normalized in school, and the stuff that boys have gone through. I'm telling you, you have no idea the kind of stories I hear in my inbox, and from men.
Yeah.
Tell me some of the stuff that they've gone through, and I'm like, wow, my lord. That's why we're seeing so much violence, so much
Mhm.
domestic violence, and in everywhere there's just so much pain. I think it's the pandemic, is the mental health challenges. Is I think it's just the pandemic that we're on top of the pandemic that we're going through. It
Oh,
really is an
true, true, true.
epidemic.
The pandemic has really affected people, and it's not yet about to go. We
It's not
really have to
going.
live with it.
I
We
know
have
it's
to learn how to live with it.
mm-hmm. It
Yeah,
is
you said a very important issue, because men are really suffering from mental issue,
so much, so much.
and
My
we
heart
always
goes
say,
out. My heart goes out to men. Actually, I actually stopped even focusing on women sometimes, because I was like, you know what your guys have gone through. First of all, the men are not allowed to say things like the way us, some of the stuff they went through in high school. Let me just start in high school.
yeah,
The
mhm,
stuff they went through. Sometimes, and they're not able to just share. They can't just come out and say things.
yeah,
But I just give it up to Kenyan men, because they didn't have the kind of there's not in let me just tell you, there's not enough psychologists or psychiatrists to deal with the mental health issues that the guys have gone through. It's deep. It's deep.
mhm,
It's deep.
mhm, mhm.
It needs an
Wow,
overhaul.
wow,
Well, that's why they're so violent, because where all the energy has to go somewhere. That's why there's
yeah,
the drinking, the beating of the children and the wives, there's the family suicide, all that stuff. All that stuff.
yeah, yeah, and especially here in the US, there's a lot that add up to that.
All
Because
right.
when you talk about Masa, people wako kwa Masa, our
Mm-hmm.
children are on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there is families back home who look up to us, and in some way they put pressure on us. Do you think that leads to mental imbalance?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there is a lot of pressure. And I think a lot of the times, and we all know, when people come from Kenya, the first thing people always hear is, you know, women can become, I think it's more favor towards women because they can be
Mm.
nurses. You can easily change from one career to another. For example, if you are like Mama Mboga and you want a green card, you can come and you can go straight and do CNA and everything. It's really a lot harder for guys to transition into nursing, for example. And so you'll find
Yeah,
that
true, true.
income disparity. Guys feel like, man, I want to be the provider, and they're like, Mara just entering into the job market, and then for the first time realize, man, you're a black man, you're not. It's not like you have another layer of to or another hurdle to overcome and things like that.
Hmm.
So the family dynamic has changed a
Yeah,
lot because of that income disparity, like you're saying. And it's really hard on guys, especially they want to be the provider, they want to be the man and everything. And so you find some things happening in the background. You're like, hey, okay, the mama is, doing really well, she's working overnight shifts, then the guy maybe is doing Uber or whatever, lots of
mm,
downtime, so you find, you know what they say, where an idle mind is the devil's workshop, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're talking about the drinking, the hanging out, all that stuff. It happens. It happens. People find ways to cope, and coping mechanisms are what, like the drinking, drugs, all that stuff. People use to just get away from all the pressure that's building up. So
Yeah. Maybe somebody's tuning in and they even don't know about mental health. Could you like talk about the stages before we talk about even mental health, like the stages that human go through before we even talk about like like now the disease itself?
well, I mean, because there's so many different, I mean, you can, let's just talk about like the triggers, that the things that trigger us
Yeah.
and that cause mental health, right? How does it come out? And they always say that the the body keeps the score. Whatever trauma that you went through as a kid, you may have forgotten it. In Kenya we can heal in other ways. It's a collective society, religion. There's other ways of kind of suppressing it, right? But there
Mm.
is a statement that we say the body keeps the score. That pain has to go somewhere. So you find like 20 years later you see depression or anxiety or panic attacks, and you have no idea. You could be at work and you have this panic attack, and you feel like maybe you're having a heart attack. You go to the emergency room and you're like, what is going on? So by the time you try and figure out what is the root cause of this, you're treating now the symptoms of depression, symptoms of anxiety, symptoms of PTSD, right? So the first thing that people go through is what? They take medication. And once you start taking antidepressants, a lot of the times people start feeling better, but they don't really go and see a therapist really.
Mm-hmm.
So the best thing really when you start feeling those symptoms is not to just say, oh, this is just a chemical imbalance. You've got to start to look at what is the root of what I am feeling right now. And the job of the therapist or the job of a trauma recovery coach is to take you through where you start uncovering the layers of what it is that you're feeling. And so when you talk about the stages is, for example, if someone has been in an abusive relationship, after 20 years, they're like done because of all these symptoms that they're experiencing. The first layer could be dealing with that domestic violence, and the divorce. So you have to heal from the divorce and from the trauma of that marriage. After you've healed from that, maybe it takes like 3 years. Then now another layer is uncovered. You find out that you've been in a narcissistic family system where your father was a narcissist, your mother was a narcissist, your siblings abused you, and so now you have to start dealing with the trauma from your family of origin. And then you discover, oh, this person went to boarding school as a boy and they were sexually abused by the older boys. So now you have all these layers that you're uncovering, all the way till when you're back to your original design, what we were designed to be. And we were created to love and to be loved and to find joy and peace. So it's kind of like the peeling of an onion. And
Mm.
it takes years and years and years, sometimes, of therapy, to be able to come to the core of who you are, experience your real identity and what we were designed to be.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Like for example, here in the US, do you think like I don't know if it's the uh, Kenyan community leaders or it's if we can try and orient Kenyans such that whenever it comes to mental health, we can have help. Because I know here in the US, there's a lot of help in regards to mental health, but maybe
Right.
some of our people do not know. So is there a way like we can start now, like telling guys that, hey, this information is available here and there? Because men are suffering. You said the truth. Men are suffering.
Hmm.
Here in Seattle, we have cases right now of people who are homeless, people who are under like uh, alcoholism, heavy alcoholism,
Right.
and even right now we are talking about a few deaths that
Hmm.
are happening right now, and we are even trying to ship the bodies back home
Hmm.
because this issue is real in this community, especially the Kenyan community.
Hmm.
And I don't know, like if you've been having like sessions with Kenyan communities out there, or
Hmm.
yours is like your focus is
Right. I think that's why, I don't know if you got lost or something. I think that's why I really wanted to start a nonprofit organization because it's come to a place where a lot of people are not even able to afford uh, a therapist, for example. And so um, with Resilient Souls, what we're doing is we're building a community of trauma informed coaches, if you want to call it. And so we take you through what we call Mending the Soul. It's a 6-month program. And at the end of the 6 month, then you are going to be certified as a trauma recovery coach. And you'll be doing Mending the Soul in a small support group. So I think I want to encourage everyone to go to our website, www.resilientsouls.org, and hit and go to contact us, and we really need trauma recovery coaches. Let me just say it would be really great if we can, as a community, get together and just normalize talking about mental health and supporting each other, especially with the church. I'm still talking and I'm thinking that maybe we've disconnected or something, but I'll just keep sharing more about Resilient Souls. And I'm really passionate about this work. And I think we don't really need to get to rock bottom before we start to really address these issues. I'm actually open to coming and talking to churches. That's part of my job in Resilient Souls as an outreach coordinator, as a communications director for Resilient Souls, is to go and speak in your church, in your organization. So if you want me to come to Seattle, if you want me to come to your city, and we can have a forum where I come and speak about what I do, I can actually share my story about how I recovered from trauma, coming from the background that I've come from, and I'll share my story and share how you can get involved with Resilient Souls. Would be really awesome. I don't know if someone has any questions. I'm thinking that maybe we're still on. If we are, please let me know if we're still on. And because I think he fell through. Maybe he has an internet problem. Maybe there is an internet issue. Anyway, but if we're still on, I might as well continue to speak, because I just want to share a little bit about this book. Okay, so this is a book that I wrote. It's called 40 Days and Nights, Your Healing Journey to Freedom and Purpose. And I wrote a quote here in the back. It says, if you want to find freedom and purpose, ask God to father his kingdom through you. This book will not only launch you towards your own healing journey, but also equip you to support others through theirs. And remember, the feeling that you get after a breakup, or
Yeah,
I
sorry.
was busy talking about my book. I was busy
Sure.
The airwaves going. I was just sharing about about this book that I wrote about
talk about it and the inspiration behind it.
Right. I wrote it in the middle of the pandemic, right in the heart of 2020. And my niece passed away from cancer in January. So I was in some deep pain, and this is how I process my pain, is through, right?
Yeah.
And so just recently I was wondering about, what does it mean what are you healing? What is this journey to freedom and purpose? And I think for me, the thing that I found freedom and purpose from is dysfunctional family system. Things that were passed down from the colonialists. They came to our families. They they broke up our families. Our grandparents were sent, our grandfathers were sent to build the railways. Our grandmas were left alone to care for the children. And you're talking about our grandmas were really going through some hard times. And so that trauma is generational. It's being passed down from our grandparents to our parents to us. And I think we are finding freedom from relating to each other in a dysfunctional way so that we can now find purpose and what we were created to do. And for me, I have found that freedom, I have found that purpose, and I have vowed that I will be the person who will break those generational curses, those generational cycles. I know I'm parenting my son in a different way than the way I was parented. And I think if everyone can do that, we all say, you know what, we may not have been parented because our parents didn't have the same kind of resources that we have. They didn't have YouTube where they can watch all these information about healing from trauma, for example. But we do. We have all the information, right? So we can break those generational cycles. We can break those generational curses and say, from now on, we will vow to live intentionally and be better parents, be better friends, be better do business in a better way instead of swindling each other and causing even more pain. Let's just stop now. And it starts with us, starts with our families. It starts with you, how you raise your daughter. It really starts within ourselves. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Is that book on Amazon?
It is. Thanks for mentioning
How
that.
can,
Yeah, it is.
how can guys get it? Yeah.
It is on Amazon. If you go on the Amazon search bar and just type my name, Julz, that's the book that will come out. If you type 40 Days and Nights, I think it'll come. It will just show you a movie that was out like a couple of years ago called 40 Days and Nights. So just type my name on the search bar, Julz, and the book will come out. It's about $9.99. It's available worldwide, so anywhere you can get it from anywhere, pretty much in the world. Anywhere Amazon. I have a friend who bought it from us, who was in Australia and bought the book, and
So if you're in any part of the world, you can
any part of the world you can access the book, and buy it from anywhere in the world. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. You're really touching the line where not many people talk about. And it's the real issue that touch the heart of this of most people.
Yeah.
And I believe that book is gonna touch and change a big generation.
Yeah.
I see. Let me. If you have any question regarding what we are talking about, any comment, you can just put in your comment, and then we'll see. Let's see who is here already. I see Magdalene Wangare says mental health issue is in a foreign country could be a challenge. How do you people cope up, and who do you reach out to?
Yeah. You asked, yeah. I mean, for me, I've always a therapist. Like literally have someone holding my hand. If I didn't have a therapist, I don't know how I would make it through. You have to really have somebody that is a professional who understands trauma, that you could always process what is going on in your life. So
for example,
have a therapist, yeah.
Yeah, for example, because I know there is a lot of Kenyans. What is the process like of getting like a therapist now?
Oh my goodness! Like I just checked, like there's such a long waiting list. Like if you wanted to get a profession like a psychiatrist, the waiting list could be about 3 to 6 months to get in to their office. Because there's maybe one therapist, like in Texas, for example, there's one therapist to 90,000 people. So like one psychiatrist to 90,000. So like there is not enough therapists.
So it means a lot of people are suffering.
A lot of people are suffering, and that's why we have support groups that you can And I think, and that's why organizations like BetterHelp came up. I think most people have seen an ad
Yeah.
for BetterHelp.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, if you've been on Facebook, I bet you've seen an ad for
Yeah,
BetterHelp.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's one way they're trying to help people. So I think I would recommend you going to that. Personally, I use one it's a non-profit organization that helps single women or women who have just come from abusive relationships. It's called Rise, but actually it's changed to Lumina Alliance, and it's here on the Central Coast. So you apply for it, and there's a short waiting list, I think, a short waiting period, and then so so it's for people who are in I think you just have to fill out the form. So I think you can visit, I think it's Lumina Alliance, but there's some nonprofit organizations that can help you.
Mm-hmm.
There's crisis hotlines that you can call that could give you the resources. Just find out in your area the crisis hotline, and they can direct you to all the different resources that you can have in your area. But
What,
most of them do.
mhm.
Most cities do.
What about if somebody is in Kenya, like for instance, and they're having a mental issue, they want to reach out to somebody?
See, now we're a global, now like we're a global village. I actually realized a lot of people thought I was in Kenya, honestly. Like, when I was doing all these lives and all that stuff, I mean, you'd see people reaching out to me, and it's only like after a while they were realizing that I'm in the US, that a lot of times they thought I was in Kenya. So I've reached out to Kenyan coaches to be a part
Mm-hmm.
of our organization, to go through uh, with resilient. Oh, by the way, when you had disappeared, I was talking about resilient souls and how we've reached out to Kenyan coaches to be certified to be mending the soul facilitators.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
literally, we can have Kenyan coaches being coached, and they don't have to leave Kenya, and we don't have to leave here. We meet in the airwaves, we meet in Zoom, or we meet on Zoom, and you can literally get certified and help anybody anywhere in the world. That's the
Yeah.
beauty of, I think there's a silver lining of the pandemic, is that you everybody has access to me.
Mm-hmm.
You can just go to Resilient Souls, put your information, and we contact you, and we start a group, a support group. In fact, right now, I I am doing an intake for people who want to go through that route of getting certified um, to be trauma recovery coaches. I've seen that just trying to get people from the bottom of the bottom, a lot of times they're not even thinking actually how I'm going to find a coach. They're thinking, how am I going to find food to eat? They're
Mm-hmm.
not. So that's why you're saying people don't really look for therapists, because
Yeah.
if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if I don't have food and shelter, I'm not looking for
The
how
rest are not. The rest are
you're not
not
even
needs. They are
thinking. Yeah,
luxury.
it's luxury. It's
Yeah.
luxury. So you've got to get your needs met first. And that's
Yeah.
why when you come to Resilient Souls, we make sure that you have housing. So we have, like we have a, what do you call, emergency shelter, so that we make sure you have a house while we are waiting for you to get public housing or something like that. You have food to eat, gas in your car, you can still go to work and all that stuff. And then we can now start going, uncovering those layers that we're talking about, right? But
Mm-hmm.
your basic needs have to be met first, and a lot of people in Kenya, their basic needs are not like met, and
Yeah.
yet, especially in with the pandemic, people are still right here at the bottom. But there's still people who are looking for, they're looking for new ventures. They're like, man, me, I'm done with corporate forever, I'm done with dealing with bosses. But they're seeing, hey, the coaching business is really booming.
Yeah.
I want to become a coach. Those are the people that I want.
So
Those are the
what's the
people
difference between coach and motivational speaker? Because motivational speaker now, I see a lot of guys saying that
I want. Mhm.
motivational speakers, people make a lot of jokes about motivations. What's the main difference?
Right. I mean, like a motivational speaker, you really don't really have to. you just have to know how to be a good orator. Like you can read it, those are people who are good, like they can read my book and they can just go up and just speak about it, but they won't be able to do like a one-on-one with you to talk about your issues. Like a coach can
Yeah.
now, it takes vulnerability because now I'll be doing a one-on-one with you and it takes me talking about my own life and share, because
Yeah.
coaches coach from their own experience, right?
Yeah.
So a coach can be a speaker, but a speaker or motivational speaker is not necessarily a coach. For example,
Mhm.
they're just really good orators. They can come out and they can give a good speech, and then they're like, "Boo, boo, boo." You feel good. All the dopamine is going and everything. They're like, then they're out. They are on an island somewhere, So me, if I come and speak in your organization, I'm telling you about the work that I do. I'm telling you
Mhm.
about the steps that you can take to finding your healing and your purpose and your freedom, right? And then I'm
Yeah.
giving you information about how you can reach me and have a one-on-one session with me, or you can have a support group with me. That's
Mhm.
that's different. I'm really in the trenches, if you want to call it. We're in the trenches with people, trying to get them from point A to point B. A motivational speaker will just go like, hey, pump you up. You're like, you're feeling good and everything, but they're not necessarily taking you from. They'll take you from point A to point B, meaning that, man, I was low, I came down, but man, now I'm pumped up. But that dopamine
Mhm.
only lasts for like maybe a week.
Yeah.
The next week, you're like, what? What's
But yeah,
going on?
I started a butchery with a magazine, a newspaper,
Mhm.
a cut of
Right?
newspaper.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. Let's see. Guys, if you have any question relating to this topic, please.
Mhm.
By the way, Jules is a very good singer, and I don't know if
Oh, I
you have
know.
your guitar around. I
Yeah, I'm not
believe
gonna sing
I.
tonight, but I will start. You know what? Maybe I won't spoil. Maybe I really have been wanting to do like a YouTube channel where I just sing and play my piano and do music. That would be like my dream. That would be like my dream, is to really just, because we heal so that we can do what we love. And
Yeah,
for me, singing is my
yeah,
love.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Music is a soul healer.
It's a soul healer. I mean, I have a piano here that I play, that I was given for Christmas, and that's just I just have to play the piano every day. It's a coping mechanism. I'm glad you mentioned music, because since I
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
girl, playing piano was a way to cope with all the pain and all the stuff that you go through. You're bullied in school and you're going through some hard times and stuff. I just play the piano music. It heals.
yeah.
Positive coping
Wow.
mechanisms, and that's what people need to find right now, is positive coping mechanisms that can get you in a better place, rather than drinking or doing drugs.
So apart from like music, what are some of the other good coping mechanism that you would think on the top of your head?
Right. I think the ones that Kenyan use. I mean, I think that's why a lot of people go to Kenyan, want a Kenyan community, just being in community with others. But sometimes COVID
Yeah,
limits that. So if you're not able to be in, around others, maybe it's just you and your kid. A lot of the time, my kid and I played board games. That's how a lot of the times we cope. And
mm,
we will sit and do a game of guess who, and by the time you're done with that, you're feeling good. I teach him how to play. We play chess, we play different, and then that's one.
yeah,
uh Board games, and going out in nature, hiking, just breathing fresh air, running, exercising, yeah, going out, exercising. And what other coping mechanisms can I think of? Reading, writing, drawing, learning something new. Those are all positive things, because they can lead to something better, right? Because if you play music, or if you practice, hey, you can audition for a show and get in. If you are hiking, if you're walking, if you're working out, guess what? You get a good body, right? You got something to
yeah.
show for it. If you're spending time with your kid doing board games, guess what? The good outcome is that you build a stronger relationship with your kid, and you build stronger relationships. Another thing that my son and I like to do is watching America's Funniest Home Videos, and laughter. Really laughing just gets
Yeah.
you back in a good mood. Just so many. Yeah. We know the obvious ones that are not, of course, like emotional eating, uh, drugs, and watching too much television is also not a good coping mechanism, because it's, yeah.
And now, for example, here in the US, when you talk about, maybe for example, drinking should be, it's supposed to be a
Mm-hmm.
luxury and like
Mm-hmm.
moderated kiungwana. But
Mm-hmm.
when you come here, you realize that there's no, everybody's at liberty to do anything. Like
Mm,
everything is
right,
acceptable.
right.
So, and then you find yourself now on the other line, like wale viewer village kule nyumbani. So you
Mm-hmm.
bring that habit here, and that one you cannot manage here in the US,
No.
because anytime you look for a work, any job, they have to do drug test. Uh,
Mm,
if you're driving and you're drunk, that's another different
that's a
case.
DUI. Yeah, yeah.
So how do you find that thin balance, like knowing that I'm supposed to control, if you're a drinker, you're supposed to control
Mhm.
alcohol, not alcohol controlling you,
Right.
because that brings now mental issues now later
Right.
on in life, because
Mhm.
you think it's solving, but it's not.
Right. I mean, it's all about wisdom. I mean, all of us can fall prey to alcohol. It's so easy. Um,
Mhm.
there's sometimes you can be so stressed. You're like, man, if I had some, a lot of times I'm like, man, if I had a glass of wine, if I had my wine in my house, then I'd be taking it. But a lot of the times, you just don't keep it in your house.
Yeah.
So by the time you're thinking, man, I have to get my kid, we have to go in the car, we have to go to the store, buy it, you're just like, just forget it. Just a lot of wisdom is just don't keep alcohol in the house. And and leave drinking to maybe something that you do like on the weekend or socially, and not every single day. So there are ways to go around that temptation of drinking. And if you know that that's a thing that you go to, have an accountability, someone that you can call. You're like, man, right now I'm really weak, I feel like, that's why I feel like drinking. So you can have that person maybe come over, or give you a suggestion to do something else, like talk on the phone, process what you're feeling. That's why
Yeah.
Alcoholics Anonymous always has that buddy system. They always use that buddy system, always have someone who's accountable to you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So how can guys reach you, by the way? I know you've said your website, and I have linked all your links
Mhm.
on my description on my YouTube, so guys can find your information over there. But just mention it so that guys can maybe
Right.
reach out to you on Instagram, whatever.
Right. I'm on all social media handle. I mean, Julz Muya I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and I have a YouTube channel as well. I'd probably give you the link to that too. I didn't give you the link
Yeah,
to
yeah.
my YouTube channel as well, that people can go to. And then I also have a way for you can book a session with me, and that's mymentor.life. I think I gave you that link. It's
Yeah, yeah.
www.mymentor.life/Julia Muya. Actually, use my original name is Julia Muya on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that's where you can go. And if you want to book one session with me, and it's basically a way for me to get to know you and what the issues that you need, and then plug you into a support group, or find out exactly what you need, and I'll be able to plug you in the right direction. And of course, our website, and that's our nonprofit organization called Resilient Souls. That's another way for you to reach us as well. And yeah, and so like I said, we are taking coaches right now. I have openings to certify people who want to become trauma recovery coaches. We take them through what we call Mending the Soul support group. We take a cohort of about 5 people, and we take you through the program, and we walk you through all the way to the point where you're able to take your own clients. You can work with us. You can volunteer at least 1 hour with us, or you can go on and have your own coaching business. And yeah, those are what we say.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, my email, julzmuya@gmail.com, if you have any questions.
Yeah, I'm gonna link all those there.
Mhm.
Let me see some of the comments that we have here.
Yeah, I just put my email address just in case someone wants to reach out to me.
Did you comment? Did you?
I just put it on the
Did you?
comment.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can
Yeah.
also link it. Yeah.
Yeah, we have the wounded healer here. She's here, by the way, in Seattle, Washington, and
Oh,
she
really?
almost does the similar thing here in Seattle,
Really?
Washington. Yeah. So, and she's also watching and just commending your work.
Thank you. We need to really get a thing where, us, we are musicians, right? Or how come we have never had a concert where, or we do music, I speak. I think maybe COVID, right? We always have an excuse, right? But I want to come to Seattle. We've got to have an event. Find someone who is a good event planner, and we can have an event. People come in. I share my testimony, my music, sing kidogo kidogo there, and just have fun. Just have fun and enjoy community. Here I really don't have a Kenyan community over here where I live.
By the way,
So
by the way, is there a big Kenyan community over there?
there isn't, and if there is, they are all working at the psych techs, right? Because we have the state hospital here, so they all come. They're interning, or they're in the psych tech program, and it's like they're separate entity to us who are in the real world here. Like, so I hardly have a Kenyan community. There's only 1% Black community here, by the way.
Whoa.
So very, very few. 1%. So you can go a whole week before you even see someone who looks like me.
So you miss talking Swahili, where?
No, me. I'm like, I need a Kenyan community, for sure, for sure. It's telling you to change your battery pack. So yeah, and if you're in another city and you're listening, if you're in another city and you're listening and you want me to come and speak if you have a women's conference that's coming up, email me, let me know if you want me to come and speak in your event, because I am considered a speaker as well, musician and counselor, what you call coaching. Well, nowadays people know what coaches are, so that's what I do. But it's been real coming on. We've been really wanting to get together and talk about mental health and how people can go back to feeling joyful and happy and back to our original design, which is to be loved and to love others. One more thing, just remember that you belong, you are loved, and you are valuable. That's one of the things a message that I felt God was telling me to let others know, is that you are here to let other people know that you belong, you are loved, and you are valuable. You left me talking by myself. I've been talking to the camera and not knowing if anyone is listening, but keeping it on. Your sound is gone.
Oh, sorry, I had muted. Yeah, thank you so much, Julz, for coming through. Yeah, I see one of my friends here, and I say, Mwihaki Wanganga. She's also a YouTuber here in the US, in Seattle, Washington. Mental health is so important, you guys. Yeah. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. I also see the wounded healer map, and I say,
Tunamwalika
ahamie.
That
Yeah,
one went
next time
she went straight to
next
proposing marriage. They just met me. Move, Kuja, here, live here. I love it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I see my friend Julius Musinguzi. Thank you so much. He bought a sticker. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
That's good.
Thank you so much for supporting Mkenya Marekani. You can become a member on Mkenya Marekani. You can buy a sticker. You can buy an emoji. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. A salute. A salute. So by the way, you've been here in the US for over 25 years or 24.
Yeah, so 97, right? So that's gonna be 25 years. 25 years this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, 25 years.
What's your like advice? Would you tell somebody to move to the US or not?
I would tell everybody to move the US for sure. Like, I don't know. I mean, I love Kenya, but I don't even know how people to survive unless you're really so wealthy and living in a nice,
Mm.
safe area. I feel like for me, I'm just so sloppy when it comes to safety. Like I go to my car, I'm still fumbling with my keys. Someone will have like mugged me a long time ago if I was in Kenya. I swear. Just safety wise for me. Kenya is beautiful, honestly. Let me just say, if you're really struggling, um, and apply for that. I see you telling people about how to apply for that green card and
Green
everything.
card and all that.
Because when you come to the US, like here where we live in California, there's so many resources. I was wondering, how do people survive when there's no food? Here you can, if you're struggling with food,
Mm-hmm.
the government will help you with, you won't go hungry. You won't go, I never worry about what we're going to eat. I've never worried about that. So even in the middle of COVID, when we don't have a job, you can find like unemployment and things like that. And so I think we are pretty lucky where we are, like living in California. But
But California is so expensive, by the way. Or it's not so.
I don't know. Me, I've lived in California since I came. Like, that's the state that I know. So when people say it's expensive, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I'm like, I mean, we pay a lot of taxes, but you see, like, we have nice roads, we have jobs that are paying really good wages, and I find a place where I'm not paying extravagant rent, and I
Yeah.
live within my means, and so you won't find me eating out or driving like long distance somewhere. I just drive to work. I come home. I I find fun things to do where I am, and it's not really, I don't really live extravagantly, really, but I'm able to afford it. But I think what they mean, I think, is if you want to buy a big old house with cars, and if you want to, let me just say, if you want to impress people with how much stuff you have and how much cars you have and all the clothes that you have, yeah, live in a city like maybe Atlanta or Texas where you can afford those big old houses. For me, I'm really fine living in the little house that I have. I feel comfortable because for me, I just love traveling. So I live within my means and I'm able
Mm-hmm.
to afford living here because living in another state, like, where I came from, the wages are just so low. I can't, I feel insulted sometimes.
What is the minimum wage I mean California?
Well, right now, Walmart, they're paying $18 an hour. So,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, Walmart pays
Yeah.
18. Yeah, and Target pays 90. Like Carl, was In-N-Out Burger is paying 17.50. So, I mean, it's affordable. I mean,
So
they
so
need.
so mhm. I'm sure there are Kenyans who are here and are watching you, and since you come from California,
Yes.
they're like, you meet kinanga these big actors and all that.
Mhm.
You go out like this, unapatana sijui na nani. Hebu talk to us a little about like real life, like when you walk around, is it easy to
Right.
meet anybody that you know,
Well,
like
yeah,
a movie
sometimes it
star?
is. Sometimes it
Mm-hmm.
is. You do, like when you go to Disneyland, you're just like, wow, that's the actor from this this show that I like. Yeah, when I went to Disneyland, I met an actor from an HBO show that I was watching. But I was also a background. I'm not starstruck because I was also a background actor back in the day.
Oh,
In 2006, I was working for Central Casting as a background artist. So I used to go to Universal all the time, to all the different studios, to do all these different shows and movies and on location. So I've done all that living in California. That's a perk of living in California, because you're in the entertainment industry is just right here. So you can get a taste of it. I just wanted to get a taste of what it's like to be in a movie, and I did that, and it was fun.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I think you've lived your life here in the US.
I've lived it. Like
Pretty
I
much.
don't know how people do, like when people I actually know what part of there's a downside to how I live, right? So while people are making money doing like 16-hour shifts, me, I was busy like traveling and doing all these things, hanging out on the beach. I did live my life, but now I'm like, hey, I need to settle down a little bit and start investing some real, making some real money, and start really thinking about my future,
Yeah, yeah.
thinking about retirement,
Uh,
all that stuff. Yeah.
one last thing. When the much you've lived here in the US, do you think you would want to invest here or retire back home?
I think I want to do both. Right now, I think there's only about 7% of people that invest in the stock market in Kenya or something like that. I mean, I think thinking if I'm thinking big, of course, is investing in stocks. I think that's what I want to do. But I do think I want to have like I want a vacation home, like somewhere in Lamu, somewhere in by the beach, that I can do an Airbnb when I'm not in Kenya, or somewhere that my family can, like in the holidays, we can all go hang out with my siblings and my family for the holidays, enjoy, and then I come back over here. So that's
Yeah,
investing, because that's real estate, and so I think I see myself doing something luxurious like that. My parents have all done all their investing and stuff, and it's good for them. But I haven't really done real estate or buying land in Kenya, but I think it's a good idea. But I'm not against it. But that's not really me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow, wow, wow. Amazing. Thank you so much. We've really had a good time with you. We were supposed to have 30 minutes, but
I know we are on a
it's almost
53,
an
but
hour.
I
I don't
know.
want to keep you longer than this. So just last remark and then I'll let you go.
Yeah. My last remark, I always end everything by saying to people that you belong, you are loved, you're valuable. There are people out there who want to help you. There are people who are genuine, who really want to see you go and do great things and succeed. Don't put yourself in a box. Always think outside the box. Always think about outside the box. Remember, you belong, you are loved, and you are valuable.
Amazing. Amazing. What a parting shot. Thank you so much for
Mm.
coming to Mkenya Marekani, and we'll have you more and more. You have a bunch of stuff you will need to release to us.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll come as your show. Put me as your every time you have like a topic of mental health or anything that deals with coaching, whatever. Just you can count on
Yeah,
me.
sure. Most def,
Be
most
there.
def.
I'll be there.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a lovely night, and we will talk another time. God bless you.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, good night. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much, my people, my people. Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for always supporting Kenya Marekani. This is a platform where we talk about real life here in the US, how you can come, all those koso. anything goes. Life in America, yeah, guys. We talk a lot about anything here in the US and things that can help you. Now you see we've brought a very good issue about mental health, because you cannot make wealth if your mental is not okay. Yeah, you cannot live nicely, you cannot live large if your mental is not good. That's the first thing. It's that's your engine. It has to run well. So yeah, I believe you benefited from that. Please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. It really helps our algorithm for YouTube. Comment also, not on the like on the online whatever, just on the comment on the video. Go to the video and comment and press that like button. So that's how you help us. And I believe tomorrow in the morning we also have a good show. Guys who want to go to Sweden, we have a very nice guest of a friend of mine. She's gonna be here tomorrow. We're gonna be talking about Sweden. So if you've not clicked the bell, make sure you click the bell, so I don't need to send any link to anybody. Those links, they get everybody tired. And najua naitwango Gary wa links. But if you click the bell, I will not need to remind you, okay? So click that bell so that tomorrow when we are live, you just get that notification and boom, you get inside the show. So we are trying to improve a lot. You see, we are getting now a good picture. You can hear our sound. Isipokuwa shida leo ya battery. I don't know how I didn't put my battery nicely, so it was popping out. But we are here. We finished strong. So thank you so much for always keeping us company. With that, I believe we'll bring this show to an end, and may God bless you. And see you. Remember, subscribe.